God. Oh my God, great crowd. Great crowd. It's nice to see everybody here. MSNBC, CNN, Joy Reid. Nice to see you. Joe Scarborough, off the wall. Oh my God, there's Rachel Maddow. Unbelievable. 40 million a year, man. You are worth it. Let's know what was going on. Well, we found the flags in the mud, the POW and the American flag half folded. We didn't understand it, so we brought it down to the town board. That's right, yes. And we offered some help because we used to take care of it and still do. And we gave them a list numerous times. We went down there numerous times. You'll see that if you want. But none of the issues were corrected after 4 or 5 years, so we had to take action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Who is that guy? And this here. You got 2 lights out at the Veterans Memorial, not to beat you up on that, number one, but that's one of the problems of putting 5 lights there now. And now you have to maintain the 5 lights. But with 2 lights are out, just thought I'd let you know, and I want to thank John for doing a good job talking very comprehensively about the cemetery, and I wish you'd do the same, since you were, to me, and the people in the fire department are the liaison to the fire department since you came there for that particular meeting. But from today on, you do what you got to do. But I'll just tell you today that the lights are out, and hopefully I'll see the gentleman over there repairing that. And then I'd like to... Hopefully I'll see the gentleman over there repairing that. And then I'd like to ask for... You told me that in the budget, he budgeted things. But I'd like to see the budget for 2019, 20, and 21. You said you spent money on the place. Well, I'd like to see what you did. I can't find it in any of your minutes. You said you fixed a few things. No, I checked it and didn't see it. So, I mean, but why can't you just say, okay, we'll check into that and we'll do that, you know? But that's all. That's all. The only thing I'm going to beat you up on is how you disrespect people. And don't send me an email again telling me that they shouldn't have had that parade. I didn't put it on. Your neighbor did. A guy that voted for you, and that's how you treat him. That orange thing that was put around the dangerous area. I didn't put that there. You had one of the citizens put it there. No, I gotta go. I don't want to listen to you because I'm gonna have a heart attack, Chris. But more is to come. Really? She texted it. Yes, the good luck is coming. For the, what do you call it? For the Grange. I mean, Jesus, I'm waiting for my implants now, so. Oh my God, the fire alarm's going off. You hear that? Okay, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, John. Gotta go. Anyways, then also, I know it's in 2018 is when you had quote unquote the fixtures replaced at the Veterans Memorial. Well, that was 2.5 years ago, and you got, I think, 2 or 3 lights out.
And I saw the guy over there working for like 8, 9 hours on that system. I would have just went with a different system, but I thought there should have been more public debate on that, number one on that one. So I just want to let you know. Number two, I brought this was sitting in the pergola area for the last 4 years and just sitting there. I don't understand why the mowing people can't call you up and say, Chris, this thing's been sitting here, it doesn't look good from the road. What would you like me to do with it?
No, Joe.
No, let me finish.
No,
So
in the
that sign's
pergola,
here.
the pergola area, the Veterans Memorial.
Yeah, that's on their land and everything. Chris Fesco and John were there the day we had our parade. They saw it's part of our responsibility when you want a quote-unquote pristine environment. And that sits just like that.
Joe, we don't have a pergola at the Veterans Memorial.
Okay, I don't want to talk anymore. We do have a pergola there, or whatever that fence is, or it's like a little, I'm sorry, I don't know where, it's a fence, not a fence,
So inside
it's a sitting area, okay, sitting area. So we'll just define it as that, so the sitting area. Now, there is a big bag of crap that's been there 8 years too. If you just call up Rich and just have him remove that, that would be nice. And on the second, yeah, it's there. Well, the pergola, or John, what would you call it? There it is. Well, it's been there. I know, you drive by, Chris Fesco drives by, you gotta have to have seen it there. And I brought it up 8, 9 times, so I'm not gonna bring it up anymore.
You brought that sound up 8, 9 times?
What?
You brought that up 8 or 9 times?
Oh yeah, and the letters that they gave you when I made my demonstration here, remember that big piece of paper? I got it still home that I blew up, Jody was here. Remember I came here, spent $100 of my own money, taking pictures of everything and blowing them up? That was in one of them. If you'd like to see it, I'll bring it over to you. Number one, I'd like an apology from you for accusing me of putting on the Veterans Memorial Parade when I had nothing to do with it. I think you should ascertain the veracity of statements that you get from people before you accuse me of that.
Right, Joe,
I had
3
nothing
minutes is
to-
up. Thank
to do
you.
with
You
that.
can leave. 3 minutes is up. You
No.
only get 3 minutes.
No, you gotta just listen more. So,
3
I'm
minutes.
just saying,
3
spend a
minutes.
little more time with
3
the
minutes.
veteran. And then I don't think it was professional
minutes,
of
Joe.
you to
3
say to me,
minutes.
good luck fixing the Veterans Memorial when
3
I'm
minutes,
going out
Joe.
the door. That was very
3 minutes.
unprofessional, and you had the ethics
3
board out to say something. And you're creating
3
more
minutes.
problems by being rude to me.
3
Why can't
minutes.
you just say, yes, Mr. Becker, we'll fix this, or this?
Why can't you
Especially
act
when
like
the
an adult?
Democrats have a meeting, but you don't talk about it at all here.
3 minutes, Joe.
3 minutes,
You're up.
Chris. 3 minutes, you're
You're
up.
Go.
No, I'm gonna sit here. So I'm just saying.
We're done.
Okay, here we
Let's
go.
go. 3
Turn on
minutes.
the camera, you got it running?
Let's go. 3 minutes.
I made
Time's
my
up.
3 minutes, I'm gonna sit here. If that bothers you so much.
Meeting's done.
Okay, the meeting's done.
It's
So
adjourned.
I'm gonna wait here until
Let's go.
you guys leave.
Let's go.
Well, why don't you physically remove me?
No, I'm asking you to
Why
leave
don't you call the
politely.
police on? I wanna see them, I know them all have.
Joe, let's go.
No, why are you?
We're done.
Why are
Everyone can
you
leave.
fighting on the Veterans Memorial? Why, no
I'm
one,
not fighting
people
on
have called me from that letter that I put in
Let's
the
go.
Minneapolis Press saying, what's wrong?
Let's go.
You know, I mean, where's
Let's go.
your attitude? See, I didn't start this attitude, you did.
Joe,
No.
let's go.
No. Why don't you come over and physically remove me?
You don't want that. Let's
No,
go.
I don't want that. Are you a hockey player? I'll take you on any time.
Come on,
That's how
Joe.
you are. You started this whole war, and I'm not gonna give it up.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
And that's all. I'm not going to be bitching anymore. I'll find something else that I'll show you. But I'm going to go home and get some syrup and clean this off. I mean, any normal human being would say, Jesus, you know what I mean? Instead of having a cop down there messing with Joe Vecchio, because you're calling dumb, quote, a little bit. So John Hitchcliffe says at the town board meeting, well, we're going to get rid of it because no one sits on it, it's all dirty and shit. That was a year ago. So you'd think a smart lawyer would say, hey, this year, let's make sure it's clean. This year, let's make sure this is done, right? This year, tell the people that do this to at least fix this. Now here's what I did. I put 2 pieces of board down, okay? Bought it myself, don't expect. Here's the board that was there. Can you imagine the kid getting his finger stuck in that? Look at that. Look at that. Check that out, man. Check that out. Check that board out. Check that board out, right? Would you sit on that? Would you sit on that? You know, and I cleaned this one off here. So that's what I do with my life. Oh, look at that. Yeah. You're worried about liability, right? The geniuses.
neighbors, Lisa King and her 2 children, cleaning the monument because the supervisor couldn't, or John, or any of the new guys. Hey, I'll take care of that. Yeah, just call up R&L. Yeah, why don't we clean it? How much to clean that? Yeah, let's just talk. They talk about everything else in town, the most petty stuff, but the new guys especially, so chicken. I mean. Okay, let's do a quick review of the mowing. Well, you can see that. You can see where you can, right here, right there. See how it's gotten worse over the last, 4 years. Look at it. I mean, you'd trip and fall and kill yourself. And I'm not trying to be a hard ass, but let's see what pristine means. Okay, everything's supposed to be weeded. Does this look weeded? Quickly pan. Now I would at least got the weed whacker and just, leveled it off. That ain't that hard because in the contract, in black and white in big bold letters is pristine at all times. Now I'm not being that hard of an ass, but okay. So you can see that this should be here. Yeah, see this right here? What's that say? It says Charles Parsons, dedicated in 2004. That's, so we're gonna get a grinder. We're gonna grind that out. So if you wanna be here, we're gonna grind that off. I got the grinder coming. Gonna grind his name off that for not participating in and just sitting there with his arms crossed as I'm abused by the supervisor. Abused by the supervisor. Good luck fixing the Veterans Memorial. He actually got out of his chair and walked to the door and asked me to leave. And I started the problem. Where's the de-escalation? But anyway, so we're gonna grind his name off that because he never once said, wait a minute, Mr. Vecchio's got a good point. We should be cleaning the stone, right? Look how clean it is. Thank you. Oh, look at the bird. We got to come over and clean it. But we don't expect it to, we don't expect it to be cleaned all the time. And then we cleaned up all the stones on the edge here. So we got that all done. So it's flat now. If you pull in, your whole car doesn't shake, right? When an old person comes in, you don't want them rocking around, right? Now come over here where they got the, okay, we put, a dump truck load of dirt here because it went down so far that you'd trip on it. So thank you very much. The Hayneses put the dirt and the seed. So now we're gonna rake it out, but I have to ask myself, why didn't the supervisor, to show us appreciation, why didn't he say to these guys mowing, just spend 10 minutes raking it, and then, put some new seed down to get it to go good? Is that too hard? That's too hard? Michael Knight, God bless you. See you later, Michael. Yep, Mike just left in the helicopter. So you can see here. You can see the people sitting at the pergola that they had to clean off themselves with the dirt right at the bottom. Yes. Hi, ladies. In America. Can I take a picture of you? You can see where someone shot this guy with a 9mm in the back of the head. And I don't blame them. Okay, here's a sign of HIDS, left hemispherical behavior. At the Spafford Democrats, right? Because I go to the meetings. I'm a Democrat. What's it say here? Chris Fesco, Sharon O'Connell, John Hitchcliff, Dave Hempson. Okay, they had a meeting. Don't ask me why they didn't call me or let me know it was taking place because they were talking about the Memorial Park. Okay, and then they discussed. Okay, but then look at here, the recommendations. Here's the recommendations. And look at this, the fire department. Okay, now what's funny here is that when it comes to the recommendations, Joe Vecchio with DEI, right? Wouldn't you want someone that thinks differently? Okay, think about it. I would have said the recommendations are guess what? Read the contract. Chris Fesco, you're on the board. You have access to it. I'm told I got to foil it. And then John, you know, you're on the board. You're a lawyer. Why don't you just get the contract, read it, and then we can solve all these problems. But you actually had a meeting to talk about how you didn't even listen. You didn't even take 2 seconds to read that contract and tell who was supposed to do what. And yet this right here. Yet you choose a man to be the chairman when you are the chairman. You're a chairman and you let this happen? And yet I'm the stupid fuck, right? I'm the stupid body man. I'm the stupid fuck. Yeah? Well, childish. Okay, let's move on. You know, I expect more from Dave. But in the library, fuck the library. Do your fucking job.
To have a wider array of experiences at the table as we grapple with these problems is going to help us come up with a wider array of options to address them.
The Spafford. I had to go through this at Spafford where my opinions weren't listened to. No one would even want to listen about new ideas and breaking the old narrative and coming up with new procedures to stimulate creativity and involvement, right? So use that. Okay, just having some fun here, okay? This is from the Spafford Democratic meeting like a month and a half ago, right? Meeting minutes and the agenda, then the Memorial Park, right? The committee discussed upkeep on Memorial Park. Dave proposed a concept to share the responsibility for the upkeep of the park with the Spafford community organizations. And then listen to this. Talk about being fake. We can all show our thanks to our veterans by pitching in and lending a hand. Think of that. I mean, that's so fake. Who writes like that, right? But anyways, here's the recommendations. Now, he's making recommendations to our board meeting. I mean, the board members, the councilors, okay? And he's just the chairman of the Democratic Party, so he's talking with the two board members, telling them how to do it, okay? Then it says here, the fire department will weed it in September. See, in August, the Spafford Boy Scouts are going to try to do it. Chris Fesco is going to meet with them and waste their time, right? In April, the Spafford Democratic Committee, they're going to weed, right, when you really don't need it at that time, you know. The Spafford Area Historical Society will clean it in June. Like, think of this. They thought of this. These are the geniuses that don't want people like me to even talk at the meetings, okay? And then over here, Chris Fesco is going to send a note appreciating Jonah for all she's done, but, you know, where you look at whatever, okay? And then, of course, the Republican Party is going to do it. Now, look over here. This is in February of 2017. What's it say here? This is a contract for the people that mow. They're supposed to take care of it. I'm not going to read it to you, but it's supposed to be kept in pristine condition, and you can define what does maintenance mean, and it's supposed to be in perfect, pristine conditions during the 4 holidays. Okay, but then, of course, it outlines the penalties, and they actually wasted time down here talking about the height of the grass. Think of that. I remember hearing that numerous times. The height of the grass, as if they're like being really specific and very professional. And I appreciate it when they were. But here they're talking about the height of the grass, and they walked through and saw some limbs down, so they want to clean up the cemetery. But didn't they ever walk through the Veterans Memorial and know that we use that during our parade and other issues? Are you serious? But one issue I believe is half of them don't go to these the parade. Okay, so that's basically you know, kind of what's going on, and you know, and what you see here is Chris Fesco signed off on the contract thing over here. So they had resolutions, you know, to pay to have limbs removed and everywhere else but the Veterans Memorial. So I don't know why they were so blind, or why they wouldn't want someone on the board that would help take care of the multiple diverse issues in this town. You know, you got everyone on the town board thinks the same. None of them can get their hands dirty, or they don't even know. They don't have any friends that could do this for them. Okay, but get this one right here. I think this is the one that I find
this year, it says right here, Memorial Weekend, okay, you know, it says here, flowers will be planted. Councilor Hitchcliff reported he ordered a memorial wreath will be placed on the monument, you know, therefore he's been over there, right? And yet he emails me that letter saying, what are you talking about on the water problem, okay? And then it says here that the benches will be brought out, the gate will be adjusted to swing easily, and the mowing company will level the ground around the gates because it goes down like 9 inches. And they're worried about the grass, right? Worried about the height of the grass. But it has such a dump where it's sunk in, you trip. And there's a lot of older people there when we have the memorial. Does that make sense, lawyers, huh? And DeWitt was like, was he blind to all this? Yet he didn't want me on the board. He voted against me to be on the board and couldn't stand up to Chris Fesco, right? And he calls me the night before and tells me I'm not going to get the position because I don't have a college education. Are you serious? Really? I don't have a law degree or a degree in political science. What's that? What's that? You don't even need to go to college for that. So anyways, it says here, Chris Kozik will confirm with the Board Animal Fire Department, whatever that means. And they will level the ground around the gates. Well, that hasn't been done, right? So let's go to the punishment. What's the punishment say up here? If you fail to do it, I'm not even going to read it. You know what I mean? The complaints, obviously there was a complaint and they didn't, but it's not really their fault. It's the poor mentoring. But I would think Chris Fesco has been there a long time, okay? Chris Kozik, I believe, told John kind of take care of the park because we met once at the fire department. I made a big effort to get him to come down there and I took shit for that, okay? So don't tell me I don't go out of my way, okay? And then here's what I mean. It's funny. I mean, it's just interesting that they really don't want to get involved. What's it say right here? If so, what's the matter with it? After numerous letters, after numerous contacts with both the R and L, the people that take care of it, and the supervisor and him, inviting him to the firehouse, but that's what it says. So let's see what that is, okay? Let's go over there and look at that, what that is. If so, what's the matter with it? Okay, so let's look at that. Okay, let's go. And here's the water thing. You can't fix this after 4 years. What's wrong with it, a lawyer says. Would he allow this at his daughter's house? Huh? Would you allow that at your daughter's house? Then putting these lights so far out, you got a weed whacker. Wow, is that what the water pipe looks like now? Who's the designer on that? Wow, that is nice. Wow. Go along with it. If you're smart, why don't you say no? Why can't I speak next?
Because you get 3 minutes just like everyone else, Joe.
And then you get out of your chair, you walk over to the door, and you ask me to leave. And then you guys ought to know that he said to me, I got on videotape, good luck fixing the Veterans Memorial.
Motion to adjourn.
And now you're going to play this game. Why don't you just be a man and just say, I was going to shake hands with you at the end.
Joe,
You know, I can stand right here.
do not approach the town board.
I can stand here.
Back up.
If you want to have me arrested, I can sue you for
Back up.
$100,000.
Back up.
No, I don't have to.
Back
I
up.
don't have to.
Back up.
Back up. I gotta go back to here. So see how your leader treats you. It's just you're not a good man.
I'll make a
All
motion
this.
to adjourn. Do I have a
Yeah.
second?
Okay. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead. None of you guys are gonna. You know,
Aye.
the Democrat. You're not gonna challenge him
See you,
at all,
Joe.
right?
See you, Joe.
Okay. Thank you. Now I'm motivated now. I'm motivated now.
Can't wait to see that.
Oh yeah. Okay. It doesn't matter. You know, the people in this town that just think you're a jerk. There's the flags. Why don't you do something with them? And when you talk to R&L, make sure they do a good job this year. I wouldn't want to embarrass you more. Well, that worked out good, huh? Huh, Chris? Real good. What an architect. Why don't you buy more of the wrong lights? Or, you know, can't you even do that right? What do you think I'm a... CJ, remember you're supposed to meet with me on the ethics board. Please, call me. It's been a year. It's been a year.
Remobilization. of passage and then pretend you pawn it off as your own idea just to impress some girls, embarrass my friend? See, the sad thing about a guy like you is in 50 years, you're gonna start doing some thinking on your own, and you're gonna come up with the fact that there are two certainties in life. One, don't do that. And two, you dropped 150 grand on a fucking education you could have got for $1.50 in late charges at the public library.
Yeah, but I will have a degree. And you'll be serving my kids fries at a drive-thru on our way to a skiing trip.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but at least I won't be unoriginal. But I mean, if you have a problem like that, I mean, we could just step outside, we could figure it out.
Oh man, there's no problem.